Greetings once again, and you have been pulled into the black dimension. This is Kev, and I have a question for you, Roger.
What's that, sir?
Do you know He-Man?
Man, do I know me and He Man go back a long way. Long, long
Yeah,
way.
man. You know, because watching this, I don't think I know He-Man anymore. It just. Seriously, man. And I'm talking about Masters of the Universe Revelation Part Two. Kevin Smith's completes one story arc, which it had a few pluses, and I'll explain it, and it had quite a few minuses as well. It's just it was just like a plot salad that had some of the wrong stuff in it, and basically in the last review, and Donnie, Donnie, who's here in spirit, me and him talked about this before. He believes that Kevin Smith has been vindicated in this second half, but since he's not here to explain it, I will go ahead and just say I will respectfully disagree with him on that one. This uh, fans were lied to again. You were like tricked into believing that there was going to be some huge epic showdown between He-Man and Skeletor. As Kevin Smith would say, and as it was reported that it was going to be a violent showdown. What we got was Fisto expressing his desire to fist Skeletor. I don't get it, man.
How do you like how you put that right?
I sure like to fist him. I mean, Jesus. And I understand that that joke was kind of a callback to how Fisto's character was displayed in the past, but just basically when they left off, Adam was stabbed, and you think that he might bleed to death or something, and Skeletor had the power. Really, I thought what really happened and what I was expecting was Skelegod just clowning, doing some epic stuff. But Skelegod wasn't even a big part of it. After a couple of episodes, really it became about Evil Lyn. I mean, you know, and yeah, Adam still had the power. He could call it without the sword. So what resulted was this right here. What I would say is the Incredible Hulk. If he was like a blonde white guy, surfer dude, kind of.
Oh, the Incredible Bulk.
Yeah, meathead. Check these muscles out. But yeah, he beat the crap out of Skelegod. As far as like power, so to speak, Skelegod still had him, but brute strength, nothing was stopping that. And it was an actual Incredible Hulk version of He-Man, and you know, and I would be interested to see where they would go with this if this were to continue into a season season two, part one and two, or something like that. Like Adam is in the corner and he had to just call this guy out because Adam was very frightened to bring this guy out again. He said, I will never ever do it again, you know. So it would be interesting, but it's just like I don't I'm just gonna tell you the truth. I don't really like this story. Is like I say, I expected more from Skelegod, but he ended up giving it up like a typical guy. You have anything to say, Roger?
Man, well, when it comes to Skeletor giving up the power for for what he was finna give it up for, yeah, that he was on something typical for sure. But honestly, I thought He Man was out of there. The way they ended the first one, I was like, man, I can't believe he really finna kill off He Man. I really didn't expect him to come back, so I was actually happy that he came back because my childhood says He Man and the Masters of the Universe, not Masters of the Universe. That sounds generic to me. You know,
Well,
uh,
that's the argument though that it's Masters of the Universe, not He-Man in a Masters of the Universe. And yeah, is I'm not a fan of plot devices. I will say this several times throughout all of these broadcasts that we do. I am not a fan of plot devices at all. But to the story's continuity, Tila, who is the daughter of the original sorceress, she, she had the same kind of power within her, so she used that to heal Adam, and Adam was able to call on this Savage He-Man. But you can go check that out for yourself. But there's plenty to talk about. Like, I there's a couple things I don't agree with. Like, okay, say for instance, Lynn, evil Lynn.
Hmm.
Okay, they just was like, evil Lynn was able to call on the power with the sword. Now, according to regular He-Man legend, you have to be chosen, and the chosen one shares the power. It's just like anybody can just stick the sword up in the air and say by the power of Grayskull. But I guess you could say that yet another plot device, since Lynn was Skelegod's granted sorcerer, she could manipulate the power like that. But it was just like by the end of this, it was just no consequences for her actions. They treated her like, and I mean, I get it. I get it. You want to put women in more powerful roles, but this is what they mean by woke. They started to make her look like, instead of this evil person who is accountable for her actions, they treated her more like a victim.
I mean, they sure did. And my thing is like, now, I mean, I get you can change things from universe to universe, and in this universe, anybody can call down the power. You don't have to be chosen at all. But yeah, they was passing that power around like it was hotcakes. So, but even in that, I wasn't really cool with the you the sorceress, but then you also the champion, but then also the sorceress is still the sorceress, but then now there's another sorceress, because Evil Lynn was a sorceress, and well, yeah, she was a sorceress while Tila became the new sorceress. So you had two sorcerers running around. You know, it didn't gel quite together with me. You know what I'm saying? Like two He-Mans running around, because you had the Skelegon and then He-Man at the same time. That wasn't gelling to me, man. It's like y'all they just kind of went out their way. It didn't seem like the story was fleshed out enough to me to for me to make sense of it. It just wasn't. How you gonna have multiple He-Mans at the same time?
Yeah, I mean, they should have just gone with it one way. It's like, okay, let's just Skelegod have the sword, just cause all this terror and get into the depths of darkness and say, like, it was like the goal for Skeletor was bigger in the first part than it was in the second part. Like the first part, it was just screw this universe. Then now that he had the power, I just want to kill He-Man. It just doesn't. It didn't make any sense. Like, but
Yeah.
yeah,
How
but
does how does the big boss got the smallest goal at the end of the day? That I wasn't gelling with that either. It really was kind of off. It was a good try, but off. They was off. This was there was a lot of there's a lot of holes in these stories. I just say there's a lot of holes in this story.
yeah, yeah. Beastman, who was also a plot, the way they reduced Beastman, I mean, I would say, they did Beastman really good in the 2000 version. Like, that one, that was a good Beastman. This Beastman right here, they just simped him down so much. It was like, hey, evil Lynn, I'll do anything. Just get the power from Skeletor. Like, come on, you was commanding Beast, but hey, you know what? Woke.
Well, you know what? That whole thing about when Cringer becomes Battle Cat, when he's given the power. Why did you reduce Beastman to an animal that really couldn't talk or anything when he was already a man? He was just a beast man. So it's like he got the power and got reduced
Yeah,
instead of
yeah, because
becoming a
well,
better version of himself.
she had to use somebody because she killed Panther. I like Panther. I had
Yeah,
the purple cat, like that was the antithesis of Battle Cat.
Right.
Like it's like that's another thing, unnecessary death. Like first of all, you kill Fisto and Clamp Champ, and then when Evil Lynn gets the power, she destroys heaven. She destroys Preternia. So, hey, look, nothing personal with me, but you got rid of both black guys. But it was like by the end of it, it was just like after the final fight, okay, Evil Lynn, everything is okay. We understand what happened. You were just doing the bidding of that jerk Skeletor. Leave your scepter behind, and everything is cool. Hell no, everything ain't cool. What? Like that was that. It just did not make any sense.
You know what? Kevin Smith didn't have enough time to put this together. Obviously, he didn't have enough time because somebody should have came to him and told him, "Look, this story don't work. It doesn't work for a lot of ways, and you need to change this." So obviously, I don't know how much time he was given to do this, but it obviously was not enough. That's what I'm saying. Based on the outcome, it was not enough time. Yeah, they made you try to sympathize with Evil Lynn, or at least empathize with Evil Lynn. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know why she's taking the role as the major villain. She's taking that from Skeletor, but then they're trying to get you to empathize with her. Man, it's
That's what I'm talking about. If you're going to be the big bad guy, be accountable like an evil big bad guy. Be willing to die for it. Don't be like, oh my God, because of what I went through and Skeletor taking me from the streets and with nothing and making me into this powerful magical person. Oh, everything is bad. Like, no, you're evil. You
you know
want
what?
to fuck shit up.
I get when they try to give you a villain where you can kind of see where the villain is coming from, and it has worked in other films. It
She
just
destroyed heaven.
Yeah, it did not work in this film at all. What they were going for. I don't think they got it. You know what I'm saying? If they did get it, shame on them. That's all I can say. Because man, it was just so many problems with this film. you know,
Yeah. And another thing I'm not a fan of when they blow their load in the trailer, they show all the cool scenes in the trailer instead of just waiting to show it when they actually broadcast this stuff. Like the whole He-Man doing the little epic line, we don't have a safe position. Yes, you do. Behind me. Don't give stuff like that away. I mean, but He Man became a secondary character, and I'm going to tell you why. The special exception. Tila became the sorceress, but according to the He Man mythos, the legend, the sorceress is bound to Castle Grayskull so she can never leave. How, how did Tila, after the way she's acted the entire time, like, oh my God, you didn't give me this little juicy secret. I'm leaving, and I'm gonna cut my hair and all this other stuff. How in the fuck did the after eons of sorceresses protecting Castle Grayskull, did they decide that Tila had a strong enough spirit to make the exception? It
bro, my
it just
my
I
my
refuse to believe after all those sacrifices you just diminished the sorceress to a very powerful warrior that is one step above He-Man.
Well, my issue with that is she simply decided she wasn't bound to Castle Grayskull. There was nothing to be done. There was no sacrifice to be made. There was no quest to be taken. She just simply decided I'm not bound to Castle Grayskull. So now, even the power that they called upon, they created the whole universe. Even though she just got it, she can control it enough to do what other sorcerers couldn't do for millennia. It no sense made there. Just no.
Taylor, Taylor, this is the spirit of Grayskull. Since you have the power of Mary Sue, you can leave the castle when you want. Just take the power. Just get out of our faces. Like, just do something. Like, I don't get it. She didn't deserve it.
Man,
She
they
didn't.
they totally destroyed the whole sacrifice of the sorceress, her mother.
They
She
destroyed.
explained the whole sacrifice of why I had to be away from you and let you grow up and blah blah blah, and they just killed the whole thing. Like it didn't mean nothing.
Yeah, I mean, no, they destroyed the character of Tila. Serious, like all the other iterations of Tila, even the one in the live action film in the '80s with Dolph Lundgren. Every one of those iterations of Tila was virtuous and fought bravely for Eternia. This was this was a I don't know, a stuck up mean girl uh whammons princess. It's like I just don't appreciate them doing it. And then the excuses they made for her in the oh you, oh yeah, you deserve to act the way you act, like Randor just folding and giving up, and how that tore up the marriage between him and Marlena. I'm just like, it's shit was stupid. I'm sorry, shit was just stupid. I mean, a lot of people out there, they say they liked it, but I don't know if they're internet plants or what. It was just, what I don't like is when they fuck something up from the way it was intended to be presented, because they feel like that, oh, this needs to be represented, that needs to be represented. No, just leave it how it is. Everything how it was fine. Give us an epic show, final showdown between He-Man and Skeletor, and then leave it. Fuck all that. Like the
Well,
'86 film. Leave that shit.
well, my thing is, I understand new people take over stuff and they're giving room to make changes. I'm not saying I'm upset at them for making changes. I'm upset because the way that stuff played out, it didn't make good sense. You know what I'm saying? When the main issue with the sorceress being trapped at Castle Grayskull, and the fact that she had to sacrifice being with her family and friends in order to protect Grayskull, that sacrifice was made null and void because simply Tila simply decided not to be there. You see what I'm saying? So that's what I meant by her. They destroyed the sacrifices of the other sorcerers previous to Tila. Like all they had to do was decide not to be in Castle Grayskull either. So
And
it make it not make sense.
and guess where all of the previous sorceresses were? They were in Preternia, destroyed by guess who? Victim Evil N.
Yeah,
Like, just like I'm just saying, own the evil. I mean, for the tremendous sacrifice that being a sorceress was, all the previous sorceresses died.
well, it wasn't really a sacrifice because they didn't have to stay in the castle. They just thought they did.
Oh my God! Since Skeletor treated me like such crap, I'm just gonna destroy. Like they was calling it destroying spirituality, because I guess spirituality is patriarchal. Because that was the other black major character. Let me leave that alone.
Well, no, my thing is like, bro, I give them room to make changes, but the changes that they made, it didn't make sense. It was a lot of plot holes in this. It was kind of stupid at the end of the day. It just kind of was. And you kept waiting on stuff to be kind of put back together to make it all make sense. But I mean, it was two He-Mans running around at the same time. You had Skeletor and He-Man at the same time. Like anybody could just call down the power of grace. This was just loose nonsense at the end of the day. Because somebody should have been took that sword. You know what I'm saying? Somebody should have been found that sword because anybody can call down the power of grace. So the He-Man should have been hunted a long time ago. It's just too many plot holes in this. If
And
you
let
ask
me,
me.
and let me tell you something. One more thing, and I think wrap this up. Uh, the callbacks, like the appearance of rare characters that you normally wouldn't see. Like there were plenty of reappearances, like Ram Man came back in. They even had Blade from the Dolph Lundgren film come in too and make an appearance, which was pretty cool, and characters that appeared in Filmation, and these two right here, very rare ones, Goat Man and Pig Boy. Pig Boy is from the Dolph Lundgren film, so that was pretty cool to see. I appreciate, but see, the thing is though, that kind of stuff is used to distract you from the fact that they've made so many dumb changes. And I'm sorry it happened. For the quality animation that this piece presented, and that I get it. It was great, but they dropped the ball on this one. And oh yeah, Orko reappeared as well, which was cool because Evil Lyn called the forces of Subternia to attack Eternia after she destroys Preternia. So not only treasonous, or in a genocidal maniac, but since Orko was stuck in Subternia, he comes back as the right kind of magician whose spell all works, and then he takes down Scareglow, which was cool, to see Oracle again. But once everything was done, Oracle had to go back. But of course, you can check out it on Netflix yourself. I'm just gonna say right now, I'm not going back to the Netflix special. It's not worth my time to sit there and rewatch. It. Oh yeah, one more. Uh, you know why they call things woke, Roger?
Why is that? Why is that?
Because see, they do shit like this. You have two. Both for some the two women, both in part one and both in part two, for some reason, uh, getting the title of man at arms. Andrew gets the title of man at arms at the end. For what? For what? Because you're Tila's friend? No, I mean like
Well,
they
yeah,
first they
that
welcome
is the
her to the
reason.
camp as a family
That,
member, and then they give her man at arms. I mean like, well, what did she
well,
do? She helped
that's what
fight along with everyone else. But hey, that's why
they
they call it
literally.
woke. And then they debuted a in this horrible haircut. But see it for yourself on Netflix, everybody. Any
Yeah,
other last comments, Roger?
yeah. Well, I'm just gonna say that they literally did give it to her because she was Tila's friend. They literally showed that. That's why she got the spot. So it is what it is. But to me, it was too many plot holes in this, in my opinion. Kevin's needed more time. I'm sure he thought he did a great job. It visually, it was great. I will give it that. Visually, it was great. A lot of times when people do reiterations, they kind of mess up things visually. But I could roll with this one from a visual presentation. But to me, the story wasn't as good as it should have been. It just wasn't.
And listen up, people. Nobody remembers a really good visual presentation when it stinks. And this is why I got this guy up here as the last slide, Stinkor. Because it stinks, man. This master, like, I don't really care if it comes back. I'm not really looking forward to come back. It probably did so poorly that Netflix probably won't rush to get a part or season two, part one and two out. So it's whatever. I'm sure Donnie, he somewhere out there, he feels differently. Like I said, we talked about this, and he said he felt like Kevin Smith was vindicated in this. I mean, me, I don't see it. So
Well, I would have definitely fought him over this one. But yeah, this is like a loss at an NCAA tournament. I'm one and done.
yeah, there's gonna be some people out there that's gonna feel like that we're super harsh on this, but you know what? Hey, to each his own. We just gonna agree to disagree on this one. So, this is in the books, Masters of the Universe Revelation, part two. Just didn't do it, man. Especially for me, who, like I said, when I was a kid. I collected the figures. This was back in 1983. It was my first set of Christmas gifts. Masters of the Universe figures with Castle Grayskull. So I don't want to hear shit. So anything else, Raj?
I too had a Castle Grayskull. I've been a fan of He-Man for a long time. They just didn't do it right. Kevin needed more time. Okay, you needed more people, man. You needed more people. That's the ethos
Or we
going on.
needed somebody that was going to do it right. Shit, whether it had to be Kevin Smith or not. Sorry. Say more time to do what? Make it even more messed up and woke.
I ain't even tripping about the woke stuff. It wasn't good. It just wasn't. It just wasn't good.
Yeah, yeah, woke and not good. Hey, they coincide.
Yeah, but that'll do it for me.
Okay. All right. Well, all right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in with our discussion of the part two of the Masters of the Universe Revelation. And tell us what you think in the comments. Do you agree with us? Do you disagree with us? But anyway, at the end of all this, I gotta say you have been pulled into the black dimension. Hopefully, you will find your way out and erase this from your memory somehow. Masters of the Universe Revelation Part Two.